the microplastic thing. Like I've learned so much just in the past few months. Mark Ward, that founded Sea Turtles Forever, he wrote some of the early definitive articles in Scientific American about it all. And I asked him, I said, like, look, can't we take the 1,000 pounds you got off the beach in Oregon last month and make it into some kind of blocks and build with it? And he goes like, no, it's outgassing all this toxic chemicals and shit as it breaks down. And I guess that's because it's hydrocarbon based. But rather than, getting anything we do is going to help lessen the severity of the purification. But imagine filtering a beach of sand. But to me, if we could attack it at the root of where it's all being manufactured, and it's all the oil companies, right?
Yeah. I mean, sure. Yes, but I think we have to go deeper than that. I think to identify some companies, we're basically going good versus evil. We're looking for the bad guys, but we need to look in the mirror.
It's all us.
It's all us.
Exactly. We make them possible. We each do our part.
Yeah.
I have plastic contact lenses.
Yeah.
If plastic disappeared, how much stuff we own?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's got its uses, but like with everything, we can't just do a little bit. We have to go hog wild and go off the deep end.
And we've gone off the deep end. And the other thing about this, though, is that we now know how damaging this stuff is, and yet we're not actually addressing the cause of the problem, which is our use of plastic.
Yes.
Plastic in and of itself it just is what it is.
Well, look,
something
our people,
that we've created.
If we give more money to Greenpeace, they'll fix it, won't they? Or the government agencies.
Oh, yeah,
Chris Hipkins. Chris
yeah,
Hipkins.
Yeah,
he's a very inspiring leader.
This is the problem: is that we refuse to look in the mirror and address things on our own daily basis. But you're right. We'd be some of the clothes we're wearing today, like my jacket here.
Is nylon a plastic?
Absolutely.
It's a polymer.
Yeah. And so, one of the things that we have to accept is that if we choose to, we make a commitment to do the very, very best that we can. Okay. That is really, really different from pretending that we are some really virtuous, perfect being that's going to save everything. It just ain't the case. But we sure as hell can do the best that we can, knowledging ourselves, becoming knowledged by the living planet, our living mother, Papa Tuanuku.
Yes.
That is something that we can do.
Yes.
And we have an obligation to do.
Yes, but we have to also have the courage to face all the nasty dark shit that we want to pretend doesn't exist.
Sure.
That's where people don't want to deal with it and stuff. But could you say that Homo sapiens has a species dementia? At least in the modern era?
Well, yeah. I think there's a lot of words I could use for our modern era, but I guess dementia would be one of them.
That's one of the kinder ones.
The great forgetting. Yeah. I mean,
the great forget.
Yeah, the great forget. We maybe this has happened in the past, and maybe it hasn't. I don't know. But one thing we can be sure of is that the speed with which we are fouling our own nest, destroying and
laying waste
and dishonoring,
desecrating. It's a spiritual.
Yeah.
The spiritual side's even worse than the physical.
It is.
We're Mother Earth's. We're her only child that she loves them all equally, but we're the only one that's a threat to everybody else.
And the fact that we are knowingly doing this now, that's a big change.
It's evil.
We're knowingly doing this.
It's evil.
Yeah. However, having said all of that, I'm surrounded by people who are authentically working to change that within themselves, and then looking outwards.
Yes.
And so that's the pathway: looking inwards, being honest with yourself, and then working outwards. Because if we want to continue down the path we're going, we can stay with our current system of of our environmental movements and our social movements where we're creating an us and a them, the good guys and the bad guys. Hey, give us some money. We're the good guys, you know. We'll fight those bad guys on your behalf. If we stay following down that pathway, we're not going to make any progress whatsoever. We need to get away from that story, that old story of good versus evil. That's not where it's at. You know, that is us. That we are the totality of that. So we need to address that within ourselves. We need to create a new story which is around a shared love of our very existence, because our very existence is the proof of a living, beautiful, conscious universe. Now that's something that really is worth living for and striving for.
And putting your life on the line for.
And putting your life on the line for. And here's the thing, our life is always on the line. You know, our life is a finite thing. And here we are in a paradigm that tries to pretend that we can outlive death.
We can pay Ray Kurzweil and Elon to develop some technology so
totally.
we can live forever.
Yeah.
And then even beyond that,
And
beyond forever.
And the idea that we can eke out another few days, another few hours
Yes.
with our technology, another few weeks, another few months.
We can buy it.
And we can buy it. And so there we are. What's it about? Is life about just surviving? Is it about staying safe, staying here for as long as possible? I read something the other day by Charles Eisenstein, and he said, safety third. Safety third. And we live in an age where we go safety first. It's all about being safe. It's all about staying here for as long as we possibly can. And he says, no, safety third. The first two things are compassion, gratitude
Yep.
and generosity.
Yes.
I think those are the two things.
Yes.
It's something similar to that. So be generous with your time. Be generous with what you have. Be generous with your love, and be grateful for all of those things as well.
As Mother Earth is generous with us.
Absolutely. Those two things are much more important than being safe.
Absolutely. Especially if your safety is brought to you along with freedom and democracy from Uncle Sam.